Well, greetings, salutation, everybody. My name is Vladimir Jean-Gilles from Ottawa Tourism, and I'm joined by the lovely
Sarah Laturnus. I am also from Ottawa Tourism, and we make up the travel media relations team.
Yes, and this is What's Up in Ottawa podcast episode 5. This is the edition covering what's going to be happening in Ottawa from January, February, and March for the early winter. So,
and it's our anniversary.
And it's also our anniversary edition. So thank you very much for everybody who's listening to us right now. This is our new audio format.
Yes.
And we're very excited that you're still part of this adventure with us and to share you some of the new excitements and the cool things that are happening in Ottawa in the next couple months. But before that, I was just going to give you some of a roundup because this is a new year. And by the time you're hearing this, we would have already done we will
so
much. And right now, Sarah, let me ask you first, what are some of the things that you've been up to prior to the new year, leading into 2025?
So even though we are releasing in 2025, we are currently recording in December of 2024. I just had an amazing media visit with a U.S. freelance writer, and we took a fantastic Ottawa Aviation Adventures plane ride over Ottawa at the Aviation Museum. And our pilot just happened to be Santa.
Yeah, I was going to ask, is it the one with Santa?
Yeah.
I've never done that one. How was that?
It was so fun.
That's pretty cool.
If you follow me on Instagram, I put up a little reel about it. I was also whisked away to a tropical escape within the Museum of Nature, believe it or not. They launched the butterfly exhibit, the live butterflies. It was so magical. It was, let me tell you, I'm glad that I had a cardigan on that I could take off because it was 25 degrees in there, even though there's snow on the ground outside and it's cold and frigid. It was a tropical paradise and there was beautiful butterflies everywhere. It made for, like I said, great Instagram photos and reels, but also lots of learning opportunities. It's adjacent to their Bugs Alive exhibit, which is also really cool. I know you don't like that stuff, but I am a critter nerd and love all that. So
I love that about you.
That exhibit is actually going on until January 2026. So for any media that want to come and check it out, we've got 7 of the 9 national museums, and this one, of course, is one of my favorites. Don't tell the others.
No.
So what about you? You just had a Mexico media visit, right?
Yeah, well, Mexico has been a huge part of my life in 2024. Having been at Mexico, a media blitz in Mexico a little here in the previous year, and now having had this Mexican a fan tour in Ottawa. That was a remarkable time in Ottawa. They had seeing someone discovering the capital and experiencing that through their eyes is an experience like none other.
That is also magical.
You know what I mean? So
yes.
There's so much sometimes that you don't realize that you take for granted when you're walking around and somebody sees it for the first time. They're like, wow, this is cool. I've never seen this before. You mean that this gateway goes on like forever? And
yes.
It's like, yeah, so it was really fun. And overall, yeah, it was an amazing visit. And we're looking forward to all the visitors coming to Ottawa in the new year.
Well, and we would be remiss if we didn't mention the World Juniors Hockey Tournament that is happening or will have happened by the time our listeners hear this. We have over 200 sports media coming to cover the event. We have some media visits that are happening outside of the hockey tournament. We're really excited about the legacy pieces that will be coming out after the tournament that will entice people to come back and visit Ottawa because there are some amazing things happening during World Juniors that are also evergreen in the city, and you can come back for more anytime.
Yeah.
So,
and we're not the only ones who want to talk about the new year, right?
Right. We have some guests coming in and super excited. We're about to give the New Year edition of What's Up in Ottawa a little bit of a different setup this year. We are focusing on interviewing guests that might spark some interest in some stories from our listeners. And then we will be listing lots of information on the same website our web page for the travel media team. Our podcast will be there. The events calendar will be there. Pitch and story ideas will be there, and some extras. So come back often. It's essentially going to be a living newsletter.
So coming up next, we have our first guest, Melanie Bro from Canadian Heritage, to talk about Winterlude, followed up by Stephanie Siska, Chair of Ottawa Tourism and co-owner of C'est Bon Foot Tour. Without further ado, let's get right into the interviews.
Well, we have here a wonderful guest, Melanie Bro from Canadian Heritage, here to talk about Winterlude. Now, Melanie, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your, of course, position, and a bit of history with you in Winterlude? And welcome, by the way.
Thank you so much, Sarah, and Ottawa Tourism for having me here today. Super excited to be here to talk about Winterlude. So to start, Melanie Bro, and my title is actually, I'm the Director of Capital Celebrations and Program Operations with Canadian Heritage. I have, I think, the coolest job in the federal government, where I lead an amazing team of individuals, and we plan and deliver some of the big events in the National Capital Region, but also broadcasted nationally, a lot of them. So Canada Day, Winterlude, Winter Lights across Canada, just to give you a little flavor. So that's kind of what I do. I would love to say 9 to 5, but it's not.
No.
It's actually probably 7 days a week, and sometimes very late hours, but very rewarding, I have to say.
Well, you gotta love what you do, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was just thinking, when you're in our industry, you love what you do, and it doesn't feel like work, which is good because it's round the clock. So how about this? So as Winterlude approaches, can you give us an overview of key information for this year's edition?
For sure. So here's the interesting thing. It is the 47th edition of Winterlude in 2025. I think that that's just incredible that this event has been going on for 47 years. So this year, the event gets started on Friday, January 31st, and it's going to run right up until Monday, February 17th. So it includes the family long weekend in Ontario, which I think is really great for families that are planning to come to the National Capital Region to be part of Winterlude. And, Winterlude really is an opportunity to celebrate winter in our nation's capital, but it's also an opportunity to really showcase Canadian traditions and cultural diversity. And we've got lots of fun stuff to talk about in regards to that. And really excited to share that we are working with 28 partners this year for Winterlude. So that's incredible to bring, the community together to deliver such a meaningful event in our National Capital Region.
I think people, it's interesting for people to know how many people are involved in putting these types of events together. It's really a group effort, right?
It is a group effort. I have an amazing team. I have a team of about 40 people, but I think more interesting, in addition to the partners we have, we also do recruitment of volunteers, and we usually have about 500 to 600 volunteers that actually help make Winterlude a success. We could not do this on our own, right? And our volunteers range in age from like 8 to like 80 years old. So it's really incredible and super fortunate. We have so many new Canadians that actually participate as volunteers at Winterlude.
That's really cool.
And speaking further to your point of it being a Canadian tradition, as an Ottawan, born and raised, I have memories going back to, being a toddler and skating on the canal and doing Winterlude with my dad. My dad was actually one of the snow carvers at Winterlude at Jacques Cartier Park when I was little. I got to be a tester of the slides a long time ago. So you say 47 years. Yeah. I'm 43. So it checks out. It checks out.
You know what? It's really hard to find somebody from the Ottawa area that does not have memories related to Winterlude. And that's incredible. When you talk to your neighbors, you talk to your family, you talk to your friends, everybody has, I'm like you, I have the same memories of being a child and my parents bringing me down and on the canal and going to see all the snow sculptures back in the day at Dow's Lake.
He did. And he started with ice sculpting too. So it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And it's anybody who is interested in talking to the general public or our community, which often our media guests want to. Everybody has a story like that.
Hi. For me, it's bringing media to Winterlude. The first time I brought a group of media was a group of people from Japan, right?
Yes.
And we're doing all the amazing activities on the Gatineau side. And it's seeing them turn into little children inside, and experiencing that through them.
Yeah.
That was very special. And I'm looking forward to do that in 2025. And speaking of, is there anything new in 2025 that our visitors can experience and that we'll be able to introduce to media as well?
There is totally something, actually a few things that are new this year, things that I really hope that people take the time to come out and see and participate. So one of the most exciting parts is that we have a new programming partner this year, which is Igloo Fest. So they are going to be bringing Electronic Dance Music Festival to the National Capital Region. And that's going to be held on the third weekend of Winterlude. So the Thursday, the Friday, and the Saturday.
Fun.
What better way to get outside, dress up for the winter, because it's going to be outdoors, but then rocking to some totally amazing DJs. And they have DJs lined up that are internationally renowned. We have local DJs as well. So a great opportunity to get outside and stay warm, right? Because you're going to be boogieing and grooving and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
And also, I just want to really highlight, we've had an amazing partnership with our friends at Ottawa Tourism, who have really helped us out this year. And we've got 2 new exciting programming options, if you will, for people on Spark Street. So we're going to have the Urban Sugar Shack. And that's a way for people to come and immerse yourself in Canadiana. So learning a little bit more about our culture. There's going to be food, there's going to be music, there's going to be ambiance. Like, it's going to be really fun. And that's every weekend on Spark Street. And then at night, Spark Street becomes a sound and light show. So
The party.
right. So there's something going on all day, every day. Weekends is where it's at. Spark Street, Snowflake Kingdom over at Jacques Cartier Park, just to name a few.
On both sides of the bridge, which is so awesome. So maybe you could let us also know about some of our returning favorites, because not everyone knows about the classics of Winterlude.
Right. So you mentioned it a little bit earlier, Sarah, but I think one of the big classics is coming to see ice carvings, right? And it's literally a magical experience when you get to see it being done live and in front of you.
Absolutely.
And we've really made some changes over the last few years where we actually have live ice carving happening on Spark Street every single weekend. So whether
cool.
you decide to book, hotel and come to the National Capital Region, weekend 1, 2, or 3, you're guaranteed to see some of those magical experiences being
That's
carved
brilliant.
right in front of you. But in addition, for the young, but also the young at heart, making your way over to Snowflake Kingdom over at Jacques Cartier Park is the best experience to go sliding. You were mentioning that earlier. So, it doesn't matter if you're 2 or 82, you're going to want to go sliding.
We're going to be going.
Right.
It's super fun because it was last year, I believe, I got to share or 2 with one of our journalists, and it is something that we still, whenever we talk to each other, we still talk about that moment where we got to bond. Especially that was really cool. I'm really looking forward to, this is my challenge for myself for Winterlude. I want to be at all the sites. I want to see all the sites. I want to experience as much of Winterlude as possible.
Yeah.
For myself, but also with media.
Yes.
Is there a way for folks to get around the official sites? Is there a method for them to or for me to actually accomplish my challenge?
For you, but also for me. I'm not going to lie. I also do it too. So we have the Snow Bus, which is a free shuttle service that's provided on weekends and on the Family Day Monday, which will get you from Spark Street over to Snowflake Kingdom. So, I think it's a great way for families to maybe hop on the LRT to make your way downtown. That way you don't have to worry about parking or anything like that. Pack your bag, dress appropriately for the weather, but then you can spend the whole day at Winterlude. So you can make your way to Spark Street. You can even maybe walk over to the Byward Market because there's a lot that's going on over there.
Absolutely.
Come back over Sparks. We have a snow bus that'll take you over to Snowflake Kingdom. Enjoy a couple of hours there and then come back and then take the LRT home. And then you don't even have to worry about parking or the hassle of traffic, that sort of thing.
That's good for people like myself, also for people with families who just, knowing how to move. That's a pretty cool thing as well. When you're taking the snow bus and you see how many families are just, coming together and going from one spot to the other and commuting together from one spot to the other.
Getting to see the sights along the way.
Yeah,
That's
of course.
pretty cool too.
It's definitely part of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So Melanie, thank you so much for all of this information. And there was a lot of it. And we want to make sure that everybody gets all the details. So how can folks get more information about planning their visit?
So we actually have an amazing calendar of events that is available on our website. So literally, if you just Google Winterlude, you will be brought to this calendar of events. It's going to be completely live as of January 13th. You can plan your day with all the activities. You can pick by site. You can pick age group. You can pick activities, and you can plan an entire day and make sure that you come out and really participate at Winterlude.
Awesome. Some great thought was put into that for sure. Well, Melanie, is there anything else that you'd like to bring up that we didn't cover?
I guess the only thing that I would recommend is for people to start thinking about the snack that they're going to want to eat at Winterlude. And if I can just put out there, I think that the number one favorite snack that I have of all time of Winterlude, I don't know about everybody else, but you need to have a beaver tail. Like you need to organize that in your day and your trip to Winter.
And maple taffy.
Oh, for sure. We're going to have lots of that on Spark Street.
I think they're a tie for sure. For sure.
I love it. I just added that to my checklist. Thank you very much, Melanie.
Thanks so much, Melanie.
Thank you so much, and hope to see you all at Winterlude. You will, for sure.
You will. All right, so for our second guest, you asked and we delivered. She was our first guest when we started this podcast over a year ago. And she is also our first recurring guest on the podcast, other than Sarah and I being your host. We have Stephanie Siska, chair of Ottawa Tourism and co-owner of C'est Bon Food Tour. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Vlad. And congratulations on your first year anniversary.
Thank you.
We've gone around the sun once, so haven't we?
We have. We've done so together as well, actually.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, very, very happy to be here.
Super happy to have you. So, we want, first of all, do you have any thoughts on the last year that just went by, in regards to what we've done as Ottawa Tourism and how we're doing how we've done as a destination?
Yeah, I think it was a really exciting year. 2024 felt like we were getting back to business a little bit more on all aspects. So I think generally we can say we came out of the year with amazing events, some wonderful visitors that experienced us for the first time, some experienced us for the second, third, and fourth time.
100.
And you've been busy at travel media with a lot of great FAMs and a lot of people in destinations. So yeah, I think we had a lot to be proud of. We had a lot going on, and looking forward to many more coming up in 2025.
Yeah,
Here.
We are here. Well, actually, we wanted to go over some of your most anticipated, the things that you're the most excited for 2025. Starting with, you mentioned to me that skating around the city is something that you're always looking forward to. Will tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think we're so fortunate to be a city and a people that enjoys nature, enjoys being outdoors, and that goes for the winter as well. And I think what this city really does well is we love to skate.
Yeah.
And, it's amazing that not only do we have some wonderful places. I mean, everybody's heard of the Rideau Canal as the largest skateway in the world to skate on, but throughout the entire winter season, you can skate at Rideau Hall on the Governor General's ground. You can skate at downtown at City Hall, at Lansdowne Park. And every park in every community in this city has a skating rink in it. So you're literally able to grab your skates from home, walk, a few minutes into your local park and get on the ice.
Really skate around Ottawa.
So cool. And I think another great skating venue is that we have skating trails. We actually have locations, I think that we're 3 or 4 of them now, that are kind of regular venues where you can skate among the trees. So you're on a trail rather than a rink going round and round. You're actually following a path. But so it's just a great way to enjoy the winter and get out those blades for sure.
Yeah, and speaking of skating, you mentioned the Rideau. There's the Rideau Canal. You mentioned some of the skate trails. We have a new skating rink that just arrived in the Byward Market as well. So skating in front of skating on the Rideau Canal in front of Rideau Hall, all of that is very fun. But skating right in the heart of the Byward Market, that's really cool too.
So cool, because Byward Market is a thriving, must see area of
Absolutely.
Ottawa. So now you can, depending on what you're doing in your activities, you've got a couple of minutes or a couple of hours. There's a synthetic ice surface that you can skate on right in the middle of the hour. It's fantastic. And
cool.
What's nice about that is that it's not just over a certain period of time. It's been up since the beginning of the winter season in 2024, goes right through in through February. So we've got a lot of great opportunities to get some skates on.
And I mentioned it earlier with our other guest, Melanie. I have memories as, a little tiny one learning how to skate on the Rideau Canal, and my dad, putting my little feet in his armpits to warm me up while we had hot chocolate and beaver tails. It's definitely a Canadian and Ottawan tradition. Now, fast forward, now I'm in my 40s and I don't do well on skates. I prefer to watch other people in skates. And so we have, of course, the hockey games that are happening. It is hockey season, and I am a big, of course, Sens fan, and now the PWHL, the Ottawa Charge.
Ottawa Charge, yeah, for sure. I think that's really special about us as well. Is everybody knows that Canadians in general, hockey is in our blood. But we have professional, we have amateur hockey. You can be a parent that's watching their kids, grow up in skates for sure, as you mentioned, Sarah.
Big hockey
but
city.
I'm really super, super charged, haha.
I love that.
That the Professional Women's Hockey League is in their second season. So we are ready to support the Ottawa Charge. There's still 6 professional women's teams in the league, which will probably expand over the years. But we're just happy to cheer on our female professional athletes. They do it so well. It is good hockey.
Oh, man.
Let me tell
It is
you.
really cool hockey, and I'm a big hockey fan. So, I've had the chance to
We
attend.
both did.
Not one, but multiple games, as a matter of fact. And it's not just the team. First of all, we have an amazing team. Shout out to Ottawa Chargers. Shout out to all the other teams as well. But it's an amazing crowd. It's an amazing group of people. The fans are great. And it's just an amazing experience.
Intense.
The games are intense.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing group of fans to be around, right?
We'd encourage anybody to, that's coming to the city to check out what games are going on, whether it be in TD Place or in the Canadian Tire Center, or again, there's so many little small rinks that have these little tournaments going on and everything. But I'm looking forward to getting back into that vibe of the Professional Hockey League. So
us too.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Well, we just had a conversation not too long ago with Melanie Bro from Canadian Heritage about a Winterlude, and I believe that Winterlude is something that you're looking forward to as well.
Super, super looking forward to it. Always exciting. There's so much programming going on during Winterlude. It's funny because I know you were talking with Melanie about kind of memories for Winterlude, and I have one of those too.
Please do share.
Fantastic.
I've been in Ottawa for a while too. But this is trivia, fun fact for you. My uncle, who is a retired French-Canadian folk singer, wrote the theme song for the Winterlude mascot. So
Get out.
Give Me a Hug is Donald Poliquin's theme song. So that's part of my family heritage.
Oh, that's really cool.
Winterlude brings a special thing for me too. So I would always go out to see the Ice Hogs.
Yes, and they'll be about.
And he was usually performing his song, or so it was kind of special and another different memory. But
I love
Winterlude brings so much to the city, and it is our chance again to celebrate winter, to celebrate what we have to offer around here, and you will be winded with the list of activities that you can actually do during the Winterlude celebration. So
Nobody does it better, that's for sure.
for sure.
So speaking of your favorite items, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the Canadian Culinary Championships.
Yeah.
So take it away. Let us know.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, the crowning glory for me, being a culinary tourism business and doing, the food that we do at C'est Bon, we start off Winterlude with the 3-day national competition called the Culinary Championships, the Canadian Culinary Championships. And if you love food, you need to be there.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But it's just amazing. And what I love about the experience is this is bringing 12 to 13 chefs from around the country to compete in a 3-day event, or a 2.5-day event, let's say. It's my opportunity. Not only am I a big foodie fan, obviously, but it's my opportunity to taste restaurants across the country that I would never maybe necessarily be able to do. So
I discovered some of my favorite gems. Yeah.
In one particular event, I'm going to be eating at 13 different restaurants in one night. We have a solid contender in our Ottawa champions. So there's regional championships that are held in fall that compete in the national championships that happen in February. And Chef Lizardo from Raphael's Kitchen Raphael's Cuisine is actually competing. So we're looking forward to cheering on him and his team.
I got to try that not too long ago with a guest of Ottawa Tourism, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
I've had the chance to go with my brother as well. And it's actually, I've discovered it. It's one of those gems in Ottawa that I discovered with it's right down the street from the Ottawa Tourism office. And it was an amazing experience. It was.
I think they were also giving samples at the media day for last year's Canadian Culinary Championship.
We have such an amazing chef culture in the city, and they're very philanthropic. They participate in a lot of events and whatever. You know, I don't hate my job because obviously I'm going to a lot of these restaurants,
right?
And I'm bringing people on our tours to all of these restaurants to discover, and I have to go and explore what everybody can do. But it's a really good community. And so there often can be, found at different events, charitable or regular community events. So you get a chance to really, really see these wonderful people perform in the kitchen.
Well, one thing we say a lot about Ottawa, we say we're the capital of museums. And I often tell people, but we're also the capital of festivals too. There's some ways.
Oh my Lord, yes.
Happening. We're always celebrating something, whether it's food related, art related, culture related. Is there any of those festivals coming up that you're looking forward to?
Oh my Lord, there's a whole list. So, I mean, I think in our tours, we tell people that we are a capital of festivals because there's like over 115 in a year. And so for people that are maybe not looking to do the outdoor experience because the cold just isn't their thing, you got to check out some of the amazing events happening. We have a lot of comedy shows that happened throughout the months of December through March that are kind of fun. Some big names come in through the city. So there's a lot of, and there's some great staple comedy clubs within the city as well. Performances at the NAC. Big Bang Festival is a really large, really unique festival that takes place in February. That's great for all members of the family, which is fantastic. Bookworms, the Salon du Livre.
I'm one of those.
Oh, yeah. So if you're a book fan, you need to check that out. Like, it's a huge, huge salon. Book convention. So things like that. Festibière, if you're a beer lover. There's just a lot of good indoor things going on just as much as outdoor. So I'm going to be winded again because...
And I believe there's going to be some food festivals too. I remember. Crave.
There's always something going on for sure. So,
and all of that is going to be on our event calendar as well. So for the people who want to look up so many festivals happening, we'll make sure that they have that to keep them up to date. And also they can look it up on our event calendar.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you again for inviting me to share my passions and my loves.
Thanks for celebrating our anniversary with us.
Yes. Before we wrap up with you, is there anything that you would like to share, Mindy, that C'est Bon's up to in the next...
Look to C'est Bon opening up a few more neighborhoods in our food circuits.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to enticing people with some good eats in a few more neighborhoods. So that's stay tuned for that. There's always a good thing happening with C'est Bon.
I know that our media friends are always looking to explore new neighborhoods in Ottawa, so that's going to be something we'll be knocking on your door for, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for being here.
Avec plaisir.
Another great interview. This year, the next 3 months coming up, going to be awesome, don't you think?
I think so too.
So thank you, everyone, for listening again, enjoying our new format. Our podcast is available via Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube for listening, and of course on the Ottawa Tourism Travel Media web page, which is now turning into kind of like a living newsletter. Our link to our podcast is going to be there. There'll be write-ups of interesting story ideas, the link to our events calendar, and so much more. So check back often because we will update it as often as we can. And we look forward to next time.
Alors, merci de vous être rejoint à nous pour cette nouvelle édition de What's Up in Ottawa. Ottawa, c'est comment? Épisode 5. Et voici vos résumés francophones avec Vladimir Jean-Gilles. En tout premier lieu, nous avons eu la chance de partager les médias qui nous ont visités pendant le mois de décembre, incluant mon groupe de presse qui est venu du Mexique et Christian Lennox, que Sarah a eu la chance d'inviter à Ottawa pendant le mois de décembre. Nous avons également parlé à Mélanie Brault de l'héritage canadien, qui nous a parlé du bal de neige, de ce à quoi on peut s'attendre, des nouveautés qu'on peut anticiper et des différentes façons d'accéder à chaque site pendant la période du bal de neige. Alors, c'est quelque chose pour lequel on est vraiment excités et que nous avons bien hâte de faire l'expérience. Alors, nous avons également eu la chance de parler avec Stéphanie Siska, qui est copropriétaire de C'est bon Food Tour à Ottawa. Elle nous a parlé de ce qu'elle anticipe le plus pour la période de l'hiver de janvier à mars, incluant les différentes patinoires qui sont disponibles pour les membres, qui sont disponibles pour le public, des championnats d'hockey féminin qui auront lieu également dans la ville. Elle nous a partagé sa propre expérience du bal de neige et à quel point elle tient à ce festival et des histoires qu'il y a à découvrir pendant le bal de neige. On vous encourage à en faire l'expérience également. Elle nous a aussi partagé son anticipation des championnats culinaires canadiens qui auront lieu à Ottawa aussi. Et finalement, elle nous a aussi laissé savoir qu'il y a plusieurs festivals qu'elle anticipe énormément. Des festivals comme le festival Bing Bong, le festival de comédie, le salon du livre et tout ce genre de choses. Alors, c'est à ne pas manquer et on vous attend à Ottawa.